Morning, welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Nicholas. This particular morning, we're going to be having a discussion with a gentleman who was in the military, left, and wrote a book about it. I know many of us have relatives or friends, or maybe even ourselves, who have wanted to get into the military circles, and sometimes it's not very easy to do so. And this gentleman has put it very candidly in a book he calls Tales of the Warfront. His name is Principal Sal. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you here.
Thank you.
It's not very many military guys who get out of the military and after a while write a book about their experience. What made you decide to do so?
The inspiration to write this book is there are so many stories out here about the military and about how the military operates, how it conducts their operations, and also about some of the terror incidences that have happened in this country. And most of these stories are a misrepresentation of facts. So with all this going out, I thought it wise to write such a book and give a clear picture from the military side. Yeah.
From the military side.
Yes.
Did you were you writing on the go while you were there, or because I see in your recollection here you have got very detailed events, dates, things that happened. Did you do notes during your time in the military, or how did you keep the memory going?
During my time in the military, I had actually started writing a different book, I always kept a record of everything that happened. I would record it. I have a book that I've recorded these things. So when I chose to piece up this book, I had to refer to my records, and yeah, that is why the dates, and I'm very accurate in the dates and timings and everything in the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also there are some incidences that will happen that will never leave your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of them. First of all, you didn't really want to enter the military, did you?
I didn't want to enter the military.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a fact.
Give us a story. Give us a story.
So, what happened? I did my Form 4 in 2007. And then in 2007, we got two examination results. The first one, I had made the cut to the university. So then later in the evening, the then Minister for Education announced the second batch of results, and I had missed, in the second one, I had missed the university cut by a few points. So I chose to repeat Form 4. And I repeated Form 4 at Pony Boys. So it happened, there was a match that was happening between Manchester United and Chelsea. It was a Champions League final. We were denied the opportunity to watch that match. Yeah. So in the process of demanding our key to, I got expelled.
You got expelled.
We rioted. We did not ban the school. Yeah. So now, niko pale nyumbani. I have nothing to do. I'm trying to really figure out the next course of my life, and then I weighed the situation at home. If I prodded my parents to take me to a parallel degree, it would mean sacrificing the education of my siblings, and then which would be too selfish on my end. So while at home, in August 2008,
yeah,
the recruitment came, and I said, why not? I went and tried, and I was recruited. That's how I found myself into the military.
Yeah, you said the recruitment was one of the hardest things you ever had to do.
Yes. I actually, it's one of the last things I could repeat on earth. because I didn't know it's possible for people to push me to the extremes that I
Typically, what happens on a recruitment day? We see guys going for recruitment. Is it just running? Because many of us just think, it's a marathon, then it's over.
No, you see, the running is one of the measures to kuchuja watu, because thousands of Kenyans turn up, and you find that you're only recruiting like 8 or 10 guys. And then, but after the running, there's a lot that goes in. There's the medical bit, which most people fail, and if you're going to a technical unit or to the Air Force or Navy, there's the aptitude test.
So these medical weights, you say most people fail.
Yes.
Why?
Because
your chest is okay,
your chest
heart
is
is
okay.
beating fine.
Yes, HIV, your blood sugar levels, your pressure levels, and
so hapo kwa pressure watu wanapatikana.
Yeah, and also meno. If you have all the teeth.
Really?
Yes.
It's still a requirement?
It's still a requirement. Wow. Yes. And then also height, sight. There's so many things that entail comprise the medical part. That is actually the most critical part, because that is where most people fail. And you see, if the doctor tells you that you're medically unfit, then that is the end of the road. So now, after that is now when you go to the next stage. Now this is for the people who want to join the Air Force or the Navy or any technical unit. And I was in that in that lot, because my dream was to join the Air Force.
Okay. So initially you didn't want to join, but then your dad pushed you, because I see you mention him a lot in your book.
Yes.
And told you, this is not a bad path.
Yes. And
then you go for this selection process.
Yeah.
And you pass.
Yeah.
Against all odds.
Yes.
And now you say you're from
Makueni, Mboni.
Yes. So this gentleman from Mboni now is now a military man headed to Eldoret.
Yes.
I liked the story in your book, and I think I'll spare the details because I want people to be able to get it for themselves and read.
Yeah.
However, something that caught my eye was, you say that those months were the most grueling months.
Yes. The first 4 months
of training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are very grueling, because now you see most people out here. If I tell you, like, for example, go to gym every day for like 2 or 3 hours, it will be a difficult task. Now here, this is something that you have to do, and it's not optional. And not just the gym that people go out here in Nairobi. This is just a joke. The physical training in the military is not a joke, because I think the motto of the college says that train hard, fight easy. So you have to be physically fit at all costs. And the first 4 months entails that.
So typically a day starts at what time?
At 3 a.m.
3 in the morning?
Yes.
Was it really shocking for you the first days?
Yes, because you see, it's not easy. You let off to sleep at around 12 midnight, and you're expected to be awake at 3 a.m.
Yes, hiyo ndio usingizi imeshika.
Yes, you've only slept for like 3 hours also. And sometimes, for example, if you were caught in any offense, you may end up sleeping at 2 a.m. and waking up with the others at 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then now coming from secondary school, where we used to demand our rights, now you're here, you're being forced everything down your throat, and you can't question. It's not a joke.
Yeah, did people quit, by the way? Did people say, enough is enough?
You can't. Once you enter the gate, there is no other way out. I have stated this in the book. I tried this nonsense, and it really backfired on me so badly.
This thing of quitting.
I tried running away from the training. And I just don't know, but those guys are very good, because within like within like 2-3 hours, they caught up with me. Just as I was trying to board a matatu back to Nairobi. So they caught up with me and returned me back to the training.
Really?
Yes.
How was that like for you mentally?
Tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
extremely
imagine
tough.
the amount of mental acumen that needs. So you do this training for all these days,
Yeah.
and then you said the final training was the one, you know, and you say people even die from that training.
Yes, but mostly we usually say that if you follow the instructions that which the physical trainers give you, it's too
You'll be
difficult
okay.
for you to
Yeah.
die unless you have an underlying medical condition. But like in our case, after the route march, there is someone who we had been instructed not to drink water immediately. So they had
Because your body is so hot, it
Yeah.
requires some cooling down period.
yes. So
Yeah.
they had made tea available immediately after the route march.
Oh, tea, dawa ya moto.
Yes. But now this guy hides himself somewhere and takes a liter of water. And that's how he died. That is the only person that we lost during our training.
Oh, he took a liter,
Yes,
and that was it.
yes.
Hey, I wonder what the mechanism is like inside the body.
Because you see, it's not a joke. You've gone for a 42-kilometer route march. You can't take water immediately after that. Yeah.
So how long before you can take water?
You told to take like 2-3 hours without taking water, and during this time they are providing you with tea. If you need something to drink tea. So why do you have to go to an extra mile and take
That's
water?
sad, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting book. All the details you have put in there. In fact, you have even put in, some of the trainings you underwent, the places you went,
Yeah.
the fact that you went out and toured the country.
Yes.
Would you advise somebody to go to the military, by the way?
Yes, but if it is your choice. You don't go into the military as a career, but as a passion. There are people who thoroughly enjoy life there. But now if you go in for the money, it becomes a challenge to you. Or if you go in to pursue a career. But if it is a passion, if it's a passion, you will not get offended if you wake up, go to the office and somebody tells you that, hey, you're going to Mandera for the next 6 months. Something that you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talk about, the careers that you would have liked to choose. You wanted to be an intelligence officer, which you became.
Yeah.
You also wanted to do aeronautical engineering.
Yes.
Which was happening towards the end,
Yeah.
of your duty. But then you elected to leave. Why did you leave? That's a part you're not telling us so much in the book.
Now, in this book, the reason why I elected to leave, I felt one, I left the intelligence corps. I was pushed out, which is one of the things that I loved doing in the military. It's something that I had done for almost 7 years. So leaving this left a lot of resentment within me. Then now, it's like if you downgrade the accountant from Central Bank of Kenya and take him to become a school bursar, it will not be possible. He will not function. So now going back to my former unit and now starting life again, your
It
peers,
became untenable for you.
yes, your peers have advanced in their careers. Now you've been pushed out of the intelligence corps. You now have to start again. And then you see, during my formative years, I had a choice because I had applied for the 2 courses and they both came at the same time. I was recruited into both intelligence and aeronautical engineering at the same time. But I elected to go to pursue intelligence. Now, 7 years down the line, the intelligence career hits a snag. You have to go back to the drawing board and start the aeronautical engineering journey.
Yeah.
So that means you would become. It would take me another 4 years to become an aeronautical engineer. So 11. That would have meant wasting an entire 11 years of my life. Basically, that is the main reason why I quit.
So what happened when you got out? What have you been doing since 2015?
When I got out, I tried working in several sectors in the private sector, companies in the private sector, until around 2019, when I chose to pursue writing professionally. This is my third book. Yeah.
What are the other two about?
The first two are more Christian based. The first one is called The Broken Snare, and then the second one, A Journey of Hope in Uncertain Times. Both books still revolve around my life, the hardships that I have gone through, and some of the barriers that I have been able to break in life. Yeah.
Oh, and I want to ask you about that. The military versus faith.
Yeah.
And whether how you mesh the two. We'll take a break on that note. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away. You're on 59 minutes.